All right, y'all. So we're going to go over the angle pair relationships here. Okay, so first thing is that, some of these angles are going to be equal to 90. Okay, if it's equal to 90, we call it complementary. So for example, if I have 50 degrees and I add 40 degrees, those two angles equal to 90. So those are complementary. Or if I take 70 degrees and I add that to 20, okay, that's also equal to 90 degrees. So those two angles again are complementary. So a right angle, that's the same thing you're going to see here. So you're going to see two lines or maybe a shape, and then you're going to see a little box. So that means 90 degrees. Okay. Supplementary, okay, similar idea, except their two angles now are just equal to 180. So let's say I start with 50 degrees this time again, but now in order to equal 180, I would have to add 130 degrees. So those two are supplementary. Okay, if I started with 70 again, this time I would have to add 110 in order to equal 180. All right, so a linear pair, again, will look like this. You'll have a line of some sort, okay, and you'll have another line coming out of that line. And then from one side of this flat line to the other, that's 180 degrees total. So let's just say that this is 110 degrees here. That means that on the other side, this has to be 70 to make these two add again to 180. Okay, congruent angles or vertical angles. Well, if I have two lines that are crossing, and let's just say that this is 50 degrees right here, then directly across from that angle, it will be the exact same. It'll be equal. Now this one here, okay, the way these two relate is the same, is that they're supplementary. And if you look at it, and the same thing with these two as well, if I cover that up, there's a line with another angle on the other side, just like this one. Okay, or if I cover it up this way, I got 50 degrees and another angle up there at the top. Okay, so to get that second angle, I'm going to do 180 minus the 50, which is 130. And that's what this angle is right here, 130. And if that's 130, in the same way that these two are equal, these two are also equal. Okay, so if they're across, they're equal. If they're next to each other, they're equal to 180. They're a supplementary pair. Okay, so now let's say we got this problem right here, and it gives us ABD. This means measure of angle ABD equals 68. Well, that's this angle right here. So this is 68. We got to find DBC. So we got to find this one. Well, we know they both add up to, remember that little box means right angle, so it equals 90. So all I got to do is 90 minus 68, and that's going to give me that missing angle, okay, which happens to be 22 degrees. And don't forget to write the little degree symbol so we know that we're talking about an angle. Okay, and same thing up here. I know that this plus this equals 90. So to find that one, I'm just going to do 90 minus 85. And we know that that's just 5 degrees. So that x equals 5 degrees. Okay. Now this one, we got 132 degrees here. I'm sorry, but that's not so clear. TAH. Well, TAH, that's the one on the right. So 132 here. And remember, this is a supplementary angle because it's a flat line with two angles on each side. So now we're looking for angle MAT. Okay, well, again, if these are equal to 180, then that means I just take this angle and I subtract it from 180. 132, if I subtract that, I get 48 degrees. Okay, and again, this one was the same thing. These two are equal to 90. This one, again, is 2b is the same as this one. So again, we're going to just define that one. It's equal to 180 minus 147, okay, which is going to be 33 degrees. Okay, pretty simple. All right, now here we've got the two lines crossing, just like in this example up here. So that means that angles that are opposite are equal. It gives us ABD, and that is the angle on this side, ABD, so 140 degrees here. So remember, if I go straight across, that's 140. And then remember, the two adjacent angles next to each other equal 180. So these two equal 180. So all I do is I subtract 140 and I get 40 degrees, so that means that this angle right here is 40 degrees. If that's 40 degrees, that's 40 degrees. Okay, so now let's answer the questions. So it says DBE, which one is that? Well, that is this one on the bottom, DBE, so 40 degrees. And then we have CBE, CBE, that's 140. And the last one, ABC, that's the one on top, so that's also 40 degrees. Okay, all right, same thing here. That's 27, so this is 27. These two add up to 180, so I'll just subtract 27 from 180. Okay, and that's going to be 153 degrees. So that's 153. And then that one is the same. This is also 153. Okay, so what's X? X is 153. What's Y? The same one across. And what's Z? Is that one that's across from 27, which is equal to 27. Okay, so those are your 6-point questions.